Yeah. What is up? What is up? What is up? What is up? What is up, my peoples? It's kind of a big deal because here we are, I.O.W. Sports episode 200. Yes, we hitting mile markers around here. Yes, as always, it's your boy Walter Amar here on the scene. We got the big homie Nick who's going to touch in with us in a second. And of course, y'all know how we get down. We are going to go over every last thing from NFL Week 10 crazy games, man. Did y'all see that damn Buffalo and Minnesota game? And that shit was nuts. Shit was bonkers. Shit was just woo entertainment to his finest degree. That was a good game. Had a good game Sunday night to close out Sunday's action between the Chargers and the 49ers. Hey, Cowboys, Packers. Hey, Tom Brady, Buccaneers get a win over in Germany. Had to go get some sauerkraut and shit to get a victory, but they got one. Take down the Seahawks. So you see, hey, you see the old men said they ain't done yet. Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady said they ain't done yet. But anyway, a lot to talk about in the NFL. Some NBA talk. That's what's pretty much going on in the world today. We'll talk about college football rankings, who should be ranked where, blah blah blah, and all that good jazz. But let's get all the preliminary shit out the way. Y'all know the deal. Please make your way over to all our social media platforms. I.O.W. Sports Network is the address for the Facebook page where you can interact with everybody and give your own take. See who agrees with you, see who disagrees with you. And then, of course, at the top of that Facebook page, you'll see the pictures, see the links, copy some merch. You dig, you know. And then, of course, I.O.W. Sports Network is the same address for the Instagram page and most importantly, the YouTube page. That's where all the content is at. You can catch all the episodes of I.O.W. Sports Show, the Late Night Owl Edition, of course, No Name Podcast, a podcast geared to all the Detroit Lions fans. Detroit Lions got to win. I think this is the second time that the Chiefs, the Jets, the Lions, of course, the respective teams that we follow here at I.O.W. Sports, got a victory all on the same day. Well, no, Jets were off. Well, they still won. They still won in the bye week anyway. But what else? Going over to the YouTube page, like I said, and then of course, I.O.W. Sports One on the Twitter. Man, let's jump in the comments. See who's in the building with us today. Let's go. Lions won 2 in a row. Man, I don't know. I don't know what to really think about it. What's going on with that? But hey, much love to Detroit Lions. I put the Kool-Aid down on the Lions. I don't know if I'm ready to refill my pitcher quite yet. I don't know. I'm gonna give it some time. Because I think I got fooled by the Lions once before. But hell, crazy games, man. But before we get too deep off into sports conversation, I just want to take a moment and because there was a situation that happened University of Virginia, you dig, and 3 players on the UVA team had passed away. They were shot and killed. And it turns out that the person that was responsible for it, has since been in custody, was a former player. Shitty situation as is. You don't want to see situations like this happen. Obviously, it's really nothing that you can really say that's going to take away the pain from these individuals' families, friends, loved ones that cared about them. I mean, there's nothing you can really say. It was just a very, very jacked up situation. It's I don't. man, my heart goes out because these are young kids, man. They, 17, 18, 19, 20 years old. So much life left to live, experience, and who knows? They probably could have been Hall of Famers, or hell, some of the best philanthropists in the world. I mean, we don't know, because obviously 3 individuals' lives were taken way too soon. So I would have felt just not so responsible as a person if we didn't at least show some love and condolences out to the 3 lives that were lost in this situation. It's never good to really have to talk about situations like this. This is not something that people enjoy dealing with, but it's part of life, and it directly affects um, a whole football team, a whole university, families. So you're talking about a lot of people being um, affected by this. But like I said, condolences out to their family. But let's move on to some lighter things. Y'all know how we get down. We like to have a little fun here in the I.O.W. Sports Crew. And I saw this. Um, I saw this shared on the I.O.W. Sports page, and I was like, well, hey, it's this can't be real. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way that this is real. And man, when I pull the video up, y'all gonna get a kick out of this because it's hilarious as is. And just just listen to this foolishness, man. Just listen.
I gotta learn how to flop or something. Seriously, I need to learn how to do that.
L'amour est un oiseau rebelle que nul ne peut apprivoiser. Et c'est bien pour la peine s'il lui convient de refuser. Fait menace ou prière, l'un parle bien, l'autre se tait. C'est l'autre que je préfère. Il n'a rien dit, mais il me plaît.
Swipe my head back or do something.
Did that fool say I need to learn how to flop? He do know that people got receipts, right? Like LeBron know that there's receipts on the internet, right? This fool said, I need to learn how to flop. That if
I believe I can fly. Just pat me and I will drive. I do it every single night and day. Fall so easy they call me. No, never mind.
What's up, brother?
Look, I thought some fat lady was in my apartment. When you played that opera music, it got so loud. It got so much louder than your mic. I'm sitting here eating, and I'm like, oh shit, she got out.
But this fool said, I need to learn how to flop. And of all people that said they need to learn how to flop, LeBron James should not be that guy.
That's like me saying I need to learn how to drink, or you saying you need to learn how to smoke.
That's like,
this like for real.
Yeah, like is this dude for real? Like this can't
is
be
that
real,
like with part of Chappelle's monologue on Saturday Night Live? With LeBron needs to learn how to flop.
Either way, it's like, come on, bro. Like,
it's good, man. What's good, everyone in the chat? How's everyone doing?
Like you can't be real. Like you can't be this can't be serious. This is something that
the internet's a strange place, man. You see some wild stuff.
But speaking of wild shit, man, I don't know about you, man,
What's up?
but I think we've been having such a wild and crazy damn 2022 NFL season, brother.
I like it.
It's been nuts.
I like it. I like that the elites are coming down, and I like that the new guys are coming up.
It's been absolutely nuts. I mean, let's me and Nick, we're going to kind of give like our somewhat of the mid-season awards. I think everybody's played about 8 or 9 games out of 17. So yeah, some 10. So let's look at the standings. We'll go this by division. All right, let's start in the NFC. Let's start in the NFC. NFC. Let's start with the NFC West. At one point in time, one of the most dangerous and scariest divisions there is, and now you look at a 3-6 defending Super Bowl champion Rams.
We saved them for the end of the NFL preview because we thought that was going to be like the dominant division. The AFC and NFC West, we were like, we'll save these two for last. These are the big dogs.
Yeah. A 4-6 Arizona Cardinals, 5-4 San Francisco 49ers, and you got the 6-4 Seattle Seahawks. Now, there's no way that anybody would have thought the Seahawks would be sitting right there 10 games in.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll be honest. There's no way I saw that.
You get rid of Jamal, you become a winning franchise. That's how it works. Man.
Yeah, he got hurt.
Jamal's off your roster. That's got better. Seahawks got better. Seahawks want to win a Super Bowl? Just trade Jamal. Who cares what it's for? Get him off your roster and you become great instantly.
Hey, Seattle got to find a way to get out that contract. Because he didn't. Ever since they paid him, he didn't do nothing last year. Hurt this year. You better find a way to get out that contract. That's the worst contract in NFL history, in my opinion.
Not Russell's. I gotta go with Russ. There you go, non-quarterback. I think Jamal's up there. But you $250 for Russell Wilson. $85 million to Breeze. That's a year and 3 games for Russ.
But that's what up, Kofi. Shout out Dirty Hills. But that's not even to mention what you gave up for and just to trade him, just to get for him. And so you gave up, but no, we'll talk about that when we get to that division. But I said this last week. The Rams, they not Super Bowl hungover. They are still Super Bowl drunk.
Man, you lose Whitworth on your line.
Yeah.
And you lose Becton. And Cam Akers all of a sudden ghosted everybody. Got some mental issues it sounds like he's dealing with. It's gonna not be fun, right? It's gonna be ugly at times. It's gonna be some sloppiness. What's good, man? What's up, everybody? Anthony, Kofi. Yeah, so I don't know, man. And now Cup's gonna be out a few weeks. Cup got a high ankle sprain yesterday.
Playing in a meaningless game. Well, I don't want to say meaningless, but when you have you don't have either starter for either quarterback, so it's like we got what we got. I knew that was going to happen. What's up, MJ? Rams. I just think like, come on. At one point, you got to wake up off that Super Bowl win and play football. What are y'all doing? Look, this time of year, everybody's got injuries. You got to know how to adjust. And it starts with also play calling. You got to find a way to use certain play calls that's going to help what you got in tow. I mean, you got to just work with what you're working with. It is what it is. I mean, you as a coach, you know that. You got to work with what you got.
You don't always go to, with the game being in Germany this weekend, I'm going to show my international culture. You don't always go to the pitch with your best squad. I've been waiting all day to use that. How did it come out?
It was terrible, bro.
That was the German side of me. Das war Deutschland, bitch.
No, Das Boot. That's all I know.
Oh, because the beard. Das Boot.
Yeah. Yo, did you see the size of those beards, bro?
Yeah.
Did you see the picture?
They have to do that there because those people. I'm German partly.
Yo, because over in Germany. Yo, those pictures. Trust me, I spent the day with you. I know we could.
Those were shot glasses for Germans. Those were nothing.
Those things had to been like 32 ounces. Like them things were huge. I'm like, hey, I'm so hoping
like
that
the old McDonald's supersized cups.
Hey, I'm so hoping the Chiefs go to Germany next year. I will try to make a way to do that shit. This shit would be dope. Anyway, Seahawks, top of the division. Obviously, I'm agreeing with what Anthony Price is Geno's definitely comeback player of the year, and you can make a case. Pete Carroll might be coach of the year too.
I mean, I respect Anthony's opinion. Those are good names, but those are not my choices. I forgot to put comeback on the list. We'll add that now. Yeah,
but I'm saying I would at least.
It's in the conversation, yes.
Yeah. That's all I'm saying is that they're definitely in the conversation.
Absolutely.
Yeah. They lost Zach Ertz for the year, so that's a blow to Arizona. San Francisco.
Run through the divisions real quick, and then we'll hit the awards.
Yeah.
I got to take care of one phone call. I'll step right back in. Give me 2 minutes. You run through the divisions, and then we'll hit it.
Now go ahead. So just my observation of the NFC West right now is, obviously you didn't expect the Rams to be at the bottom at 3-6. Like I said, them fools is still Super Bowl drunk. Like, get over it. Move on. Matthew Stafford, being a turnover machine. He's one of the highest intercepting quarterbacks. He's also one of the most hit, sacked. I mean, the offensive line is a mess. But this is what happens when you don't have your first and second round picks because you keep trading for these superstars and then you turn around and give them money. You're locked into Matthew Stafford. You're locked into Aaron Donald, who you drafted, but you're locked into Jalen Ramsey. You know what I'm saying? And what you gave up to get Von Miller, and you couldn't even re-sign him. Does OBJ come back? I don't know. And here's my thing about OBJ. I think we need to curb the OBJ talks. This man has had 2 ACL injuries. He is getting closer. If I'm correct, he is 30 or at 30. And y'all know once you hit the big 3-0 in the NFL, GMs are starting to look at you. You about to go to your other side of the career. Not saying that he can't be productive, but we don't know if we're going to get OBJ that helped the Rams win a Super Bowl. I mean, here's the deal. Nobody's in a rush to sign a guy that's still pretty much rehabbing. They're saying he's close to being cleared, but he hasn't been cleared. So I don't get the whole OBJ storyline of where he's going to sign. Come on, man. This guy has had 2 ACL injuries. If I'm a GM, I'm in no rush to even and look at him. He's had no he's had no appearances with any team so far to show what
show me contract, right? You're not giving out 4 years, $100 million, or 5 years, $100 million. You're going to be like, all right, let's see. We could test ride you here for a couple weeks, see how you look.
But nobody's really scouted him yet. Nobody's asked him to come to the facility.
He's shown up at the Giants, I think twice now.
Really?
Yeah.
But anyway,
and it's just stopping by to see old friends. He's done LA. He's done the Giants. I don't know if he went to Green Bay, but somebody the other day was saying, I read something that he hit a couple teams up.
Yeah, I mean, and until I can see him physically show that he can still got it, I'm not. If I'm a GM, I'm in no rush to go sign him. That's just me personally. Arizona, I've said this many times, but they was making too much noise in the offseason. I knew they were going to start off to a slow start, and that's even with D-Hop back. Somehow, luckily that, both starting quarterbacks were out, so that was a coin flip game yesterday, but they made more plays because D-Hop was just that damn good, all right? But Arizona, they still got some work to do, and there's one thing to worry about in Arizona. I mean, Kyler Murray's missed that game yesterday with a hamstring, and when you're talking about one part that, but I'm saying
without
him, but you know a guy like that he needs his legs. A hamstring just doesn't go away. That takes some time to heal. So if he's missing the game already for a hamstring, that might be something that can linger on for the rest of the season. So I'm worried about that. San Francisco, I'm not worried about San Francisco. They're tough. They're rugged. I mean, they just play hard-nosed football, man. They just play hard-nosed football. They really do. That Christian McCaffrey trade so far looks like it's paying off. It looks like it's paying off. We'll see how, I'm trying to be optimistic with Christian McCaffrey, but at the same time, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop when this guy is about to get hurt. Do you not think the same way?
I hear you.
He's smiling and giggling about.
I sent you a private. Yeah, like whenever you see McCaffrey make a cut, right? Like he tore his quad or his groin last year doing like a high step to the sideline to juke somebody out. Like, I mean, my man puts his hands on his knees in the backfield. I'm like, oh, is he okay? He lines up for a run. I'm like, oh, what'd he do? That grass be growling at him. They break a toe or something?
Nah, I got you. But no, definitely a surprise with Seattle sitting on top of the division. Let's move on to the NFC South. Just give me your synopsis on the NFC South right now. You got Saints at 3-7, Carolina at 3-7, Atlanta 4-6, and Tampa at 5-5.
It's like the Civil War, man. The North shall rise, the South go down. I mean, both AFC and NFC, the South don't look good, right? They're both the weakest conference. I don't think they got anyone over, or the Titans are over 500. I pulled the standings here now. You said NFC?
Yeah, NFC South.
I mean, the Bucs are beating teams that they should beat, but they're going to lose to some teams they have no business losing to because they don't have the line. And if you have a pass rush, you can get there. Seattle's strength has been running the ball with Kenneth Walker.
Yeah.
Tampa's strength is stopping the run.
I like that Rashad White guy.
Yeah. Oh, Derek
with the
Henry.
stiff arm? Oh my God.
Derek Henry, that man. I was on the couch yesterday morning watching that game. I was like, damn! I popped up when I saw that play.
I did too, yo. I definitely popped. I was like, whoa.
I mean, you look at the Saints without Winston. Not that Winston's a game changer.
Yeah, but Winston's built healthy.
No.
They've been going with Andy Dalton over Jameis Winston. To me, that says something, bro.
No. I mean, I didn't think Winston was a game changer in the NFL, but I mean, he can do better than what we've been seeing from Andy Dalton. Panthers, they're dumping. They're tanking.
Yeah, but that defense is still playing though.
They are. They got some nice pieces on that defense with Horn, with Brown,
Burns.
You look at the Falcons. The Falcons are going to have to go all in for a quarterback, and then they got some nice pieces there. So I don't expect any noise from this division. I expect zero noise come playoffs from them. Whoever gets in with an 8-9, 9-8 record, most likely the Bucs, is going to go out in the first round, whether it's a home game or not.
Well, I here's my thing with Atlanta. They run the ball well. If you look at stats wise, they're in the top 5 of running the ball well, and they do it. But here's my thing. I don't know if Marcus Mariota is passing wise good enough to get them certain victories. All I'm saying is, let's see what we got with Desmond Ridder. You went and you drafted him.
You're gonna have to at some point.
Yeah, you're gonna have to see what you got. Tampa Bay. I mean, the old man said, "I get divorced and I go 2-0." He was like, "I got rid of some baggage."
Tom Brady hasn't lost since he got divorced, and Josh Allen hasn't won a game since Tom Brady got divorced.
So. I don't know if Tampa Bay is back. They're still riddled with injuries. You see an appearance from Julio, Mike Evans, Godwin, both played. So you're starting to see offensive pieces come back. Obviously, they're still hurt on the secondary, but we'll see what happens with Tampa Bay. I haven't looked at their schedule, but I'm not ready to go in and say Tampa's back yet. I'm not ready for all that. No,
they
I'm
beat
not
a
ready
bad
for
team.
it.
Go Seattle to Germany. Seattle has a tough time playing when they come to New York or Baltimore, that across America. I don't care if they left on Wednesday.
Yeah.
They went from Seattle to Germany. You're not going to be yourselves with that trip.
NFC North. Let's go over there. All right, you got 3-7 Chicago Bears. You got 3-6 Detroit Lions. 4-6 Green Bay Packers, and lo and behold, the 8-1 Minnesota Vikings. So I'm gonna throw it to you like this, big homie.
Okay.
Is Aaron Rodgers getting a good victory over Dallas Cowboys? Are they back?
If Christian Watson can be a go-to guy, Lazard's not a number one. Everybody's playing above where they are because they don't have Devontae Adams, right? So someone who was a 2 or a 3 has now been forced to move up to number 1. Somebody who I always reference like that was the Giants, Sterling Shepard. He was great in number 2 when OBJ was there. Was an elite number 2.
Yeah.
OBJ left and my man fell off, right? Yeah. Not everyone's meant to be a number 1 because now you're getting number 1 cornerbacks on you. Lazard's not a number 1. Lazard is take advantage of a second or third cornerback, beat him deep, right? He's not going to beat the elite number 1 corners on each team. So if Christian Watson with that speed can stay healthy and get a rhythm down
and catch the ball,
the Packers haven't been able to move the ball because they don't have rhythm between Rodgers and the receivers. And something we said the whole offseason, the quicker that happens, the quicker you'll see the Packers start to win games. So,
but I also saw the Packers do something that people have been screaming for them to do, was run the ball. Run the ball. And
when you're throwing the ball, those linebackers and safeties got to creep back and respect you a little bit, and now you can run the ball. But when you're losing, you couldn't get anything going in several games this year. They're just stacking the box and taking the runaway and saying your receivers can't beat us one-on-one. Now it looks like if Watson keeps that trajectory, they may have another amazing wide receiver.
But who would have thought that Aaron Rodgers will only attempt 20 passes against the Cowboys and win? So
this is the day in the NFL now. I think you're starting to see the multiple guys going for 5,000 yards come down, and the running game is back. The running game in the NFL,
I think it matters again. It matters again.
It's reviving. Yeah,
it matters again because just like you said, when you can run the ball, it brings your linebackers up, and then that's when you can get your play action, your bootleg, and you can get the ball over your linebackers and just attack the secondary. So and I'm also starting to notice the more that your offense is balanced, I think balanced offenses are starting to make a comeback where you can't just be pass heavy anymore.
100%.
And I think yes, you got to be able to be. You got to be efficient in both aspects of your offense, running and passing.
The defenders are so athletic.
Too athletic.
You have to freeze them. You got to make them stop and think. You can't let them play without thinking and just go. You know what I mean?
And it's funny that you said that because that's how I saw the Eagles beat the Cowboys. They made Micah Parsons think. Because when you get reactionary athletic athletes like Parsons and they're going downhill, if you make them pause for just a second, you can get your play off. So
how do you beat him? You attack him. You go at him. You make him freeze. You make him think. You make him unsure.
Yes.
If you're 100%. Going away from him, he's shooting like a missile and he can catch a play.
100%. 100%.
That was the approach with Taylor, right? With Taylor's speed, LT. Yeah. You go at him because if you go away from him, he's going to wreck the game.
Mm-hmm.
You got to go at him and make him freeze and think for a second. Which is tough to do high on cocaine. Let's be real.
The Bears, Justin Fields is a superstar in the making. He needs some offensive line help, and
he needs some passing help too. He's Michael
no doubt.
He's Michael Vick with the Falcons.
No doubt.
Best athlete on the field. He can score from anywhere on the field. But until this equals the legs, it's just going to be gimmicky.
But what have we always talked about on the show? Coaching. When you got a defensive coach
and
like Evan Flus,
right? He needs some talent around him.
Oh, he needs some talent around him, but he needs some coaching around him. I think next year they got to get some offensive-minded thinkers in that room. Detroit, they're playing tough, but sometimes they'll eke one out, and sometimes they'll lose one.
Two in a row, right?
Two in a row. Yeah.
Sometimes it takes a little bit. to catch, right? To gain traction.
And they've had many injuries. They've had lots of injuries, especially on the offensive side.
Running back Swift's been out. Jameson Williams hasn't even. I don't think he started his 21-day window yet.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to his debut. I think that'll be fun. St. Brown's missed some time. They traded away Hawkinson.
Yes, I was surprised.
Which is
in division. I thought that was crazy. But let's
that's
go on
the
to
R word that we're not allowed to say anymore. Really
ridiculous, terrible. Minnesota. So, main question about Minnesota.
Love it. Let's take a second.
Is Minnesota real? Are they a legitimate threat?
As long as those games are 1 o'clock, baby. As long as those Kirk Cousins games are 1 p.m. on Sundays, man.
Stay away from the Monday night games. Stay away from the primetime games.
Yeah, you can't give them a playoff game at home at 8:30 on a Saturday night. They'd be like, no. Bomb threat came in. We got to move this to Sunday at 1. But yeah, they kudos to Peterson.
Oh man, 2 interceptions.
He left him out of Arizona, man, and
red zone interceptions at that too.
Game-changing plays, game winning plays. So that was fun yesterday. We'll get into that more when we do the next segment. I'll say some of that. I got some awards I'm handing out to that team.
So let me ask you this:
what you got?
Is Kirk Cousins good enough to get this team to an NFC crown?
No, but I think the NFC overall is weak enough that if Eagles are 1 and Vikings are 2, I think that it depends. If the 49ers, who that's my pick, they're getting healthy now, that everyone's coming back. I love the Niners defense, run the ball type of game. Elijah Mitchell just came back last night. He's been out since the debut, the season opener.
He did well last night too.
I'm a Niners guy, and I'm picking the Niners to come out of the NFC as of today. Like my midseason awards, I will say flat out, the Niners are my Super Bowl pick in the NFC.
No doubt.
They can go anywhere with run game and defense and win.
All right, let's move on to the NFC East. 4-5, Washington. 6-3, Dallas. 7-2, Giants. And then, of course, playing tonight, you got the 8-0 Eagles, who take on the 4-5 Washington team. In my opinion, this is Eagles division to lose. I mean, they do a lot of things well. Only thing I'm concerned about is if they run into a team that is a very balanced and explosive offense. If they run into like a Packers offense that played yesterday that was very balanced with Aaron Rodgers doing the right plays, not doing too much, doing enough. I think that can possibly lead to a loss for the Eagles. So what you say about the NFC East overall?
I mean, we said it before the season started. Their schedule is the easiest in the NFL, and you see that everyone is able to win games. You look at the rest of the Eagles' schedule, not many teams scare you. You got Washington tonight. You're at the Colts. Packers at home. Titans at home on Sunday at 1. So that could be an interesting game. Then they're at the Giants, at the Bears, at the Cowboys, home for the Saints, home for the Giants. Like they don't.
All those games are manageable.
Yeah, I mean, they're not playing the weakest teams. They're done with their Texans and Jacksonville part of the schedule. But now, I don't know. Why can't they keep winning games with the way they play? I don't think they're going to go undefeated and win the Super Bowl. No, absolutely not. I still believe that the Super Bowl winner comes out of the AFC. And I don't think the Eagles would compete with top 3 or 4 teams in the AFC. I really don't. But they play the Titans. My pick is December 4th. Sunday, the Titans beat them.
Yeah. Well, I heard you say the Packers.
I think the Giants may nip them with one of those games because the Giants are very well coached.
Mm-hmm.
They make you play a game that they thrive in. They don't have the greatest offensive talent outside of Barkley.
Yeah, but they play physical, man.
But it's the coaching, it's the play design, it's the execution, it's the nuances of the scheme that take them to another level, right?
Yeah.
Who cares what they beat Houston by? It's the NFL. You play to win the game. That's it. Just walk out with a W. It don't matter if it's 2-0 in a snowstorm or if it's 74-3. It's not college. It still counts as one win. There's no style points. Win the goddamn game. And that's what the Giants do. And when the talent matches the coaching of the Giants, it's gonna be a scary team.
Yeah, it's gonna be a real scary team.
I love their coach. I love him.
Yeah, I like Dave Ball as well. Let's move on to the AFC West. 2-7 Raiders, 3-6 Denver, 5-4 Los Angeles Chargers, and then 7-2 Kansas City. You saw Preacher Card preaching yesterday.
That's why I'm pouting. I didn't see him preaching.
But man, let me get your take on this, because what he said,
maybe it helps. Buda Baker cried the week before with the speech, and the team came out and won. So
yeah, and I get that, but this man, he was going well with what he was saying, and then he ended with I wish everybody in the locker room felt the same. And to me, that's kind of when you say something so vague like that as a teammate, I'm like, well, don't be so vague. Who are you talking about? You know, obviously we don't know if he's having these conversations with teammates in the facility, but or on their own accord, but still, like, as a teammate, I'm guessing like, man, who the fuck you talking about? Because let's be honest, it's not like Derek Carr's been blazing it up this year. I mean, he's taking a drop. So let me ask you this: is this a combination of just bad play, or is this Josh McDaniels showing that he's still not head coach material?
I think that McDaniels works very well under the rulership of a dictator.
I like what you did there.
He's never been out on his own and succeeded. And it always looked like he's in the deep end and he can't survive. Somebody on Twitter asked yesterday, how long until Josh McDaniels is back in the Patriots? And I said 2 weeks. I mean, the guy he's a soldier. He's not a general. And that's fine. Not everybody's head coaching material in the NFL, right? Not everybody can sit at the head of the table. Not everybody can run an organization. You know, you can design up all the plays and the checkdowns you want when you coach Tom Brady. That was a little dig there with the checkdowns.
Yeah.
You know, when you got to sit at the head of the table and you got to come up with everything and every minute of practice and what we're going to do and how we're going to be as an organization, I don't know how any organization in their right mind, and right mind is the key words when you're speaking about a Davis family member. Because if you walk around with that haircut, you are not in your fucking right mind. And you saw what he did to Indy, where he accepted the job
and then burned them,
bounced on them to go back to New England. That to me is a bigger red flag than Adam Gase. And I would like, you know, those are just guys that when you show that type of character and yeah, that's to me is the biggest red flag. And it's like, all right, this guy's poison. We don't touch him.
Yeah.
I mean, Raiders are a huge disappointment this year.
Huge,
massive disappointment.
Obviously, I'm okay with it.
Maybe they need it. Of course you are. Of course. It's like me calling Patriots to be a last place team. You got to be loving this. But, you know, the Chargers have been banged up with a lot of injuries.
Yeah, it's very banged up.
You know, I've watched high school soccer games that score more points than the Broncos football games do.
Oh, my gosh.
So it's clearly the Chiefs are still the class of the division. In a division that you thought
was going to be great.
You thought that, and not just you personally, I mean everybody, when I say you, we all thought the AFC West was going to be what the AFC East is. All 4 teams over 500. Season ended today. All 4 teams are in the playoffs.
Yeah.
If the season ends today, Jets, Bills, Dolphins, and Patriots are all in. We all thought that was going to be what the West was, right?
Yeah.
We said they could start their own league. This is going to be amazing football. Just goes to show, man, it's the old cliche. This is why you line up and play the games. Nothing is a given. Nothing. And it's a shame because you thought they were built for a legit run.
How does the Broncos come off a bye week and you only scored 10 points? Granted, I like what the front 7 of Tennessee does, on their defense. But like, man, you 10 points off of a bye. You had it at least another week to prepare for this squad. And you did 10 points. I just think the Broncos are a full mess. Like I agree with you 100% about the Chargers. Still got some injury issues.
I mean, Judy's been out. They lost their other receiver,
Tim Patrick early at the season.
Patrick with the ACL before the season started. Jamal Williams, the running back from North Carolina, second year, goes
He's
down
out for the season.
ACL.
Yep. That's tough loss too.
This is why I said it before. I don't know if I said it on the show with the Jets guys with you guys, but I am not giving out a massive extension until I see how you fit in our building on the field with our players. Yeah, I'm not trading for you and giving you $250 million.
We're not seeing nothing
from the dig.
And saw nothing.
You didn't even shake hands with people yet. You don't even know if you and the center can snap the ball together. We're like, here's 250. Fuck that. Hell no. Not in any way, shape, or form, man. And good. Let it burn to the ground. Let them
but I will say this. If that move in transaction and deal given to Russell was made before that new ownership team came in. And I'm under me personally, if I'm the new ownership team, I'm like, yo, I'm not dishing out no contract extensions until I see what the hell.
What's the first thing people do when they take over an organization? They put spending on hold, they reassess everything, and they see where they're at.
Yeah.
So they had it. Elway and them wanted to sneak that in. Like, oh, you got to take this on because we know you might not authorize it. First thing companies do when they get sold or bought out, you reassess the financials,
everything.
See where you're spending money. You see where you can more wisely spend your money. And giving $250 million to a quarterback that has not played a game for you is awful. That's like giving $72 million to Jamarcus Russell from the draft.
hey, if I was that ownership team, that new ownership team is stuck with this situation. And you got to find a way to financially get out of it.
On the shelves for like Christmas, man. Walmart gonna try to sell his ass.
like this is like I'm with you. I just understand that. Chiefs still big dog in the division. You got to beat them. They got a huge game.
Tony comes out, man.
Oh my gosh. And as a Chief fan, when we drafted for Tony, I was optimistic, but I was at the same time kind of like, I was like, because I remember when we did the draft special, and you did say that Kadarius Toney is a guy that you should watch out for because he has elite speed. And then when I saw his route running, I saw his blocking. Did you see that chip that he did on Bud Dupree last week against Tennessee? Literally floored Bud Dupree. And then he did an in and out route against Tennessee last week in his debut. He went up, cut right, and then twisted back in and left the defender like jockstrap on the floor. And the defensive back had to hold him because he was burnt. Man, just looking at what he did yesterday against Jacksonville, good route running, good speed.
Yeah.
And I said this to some Chiefs fans.
One route where he was fixing his gloves while the ball was in the air because he was like so open.
And I said this to some Chiefs fans. I'm like, I think that's probably one thing that Andy Reid did miss about not having Tyreek Hill is that explosive ability at any point in time on the field. And he missed it. Say what you want. He missed it.
Yeah. What's up with Sky Moore? Is he injured or just not catching on?
He's not catching on.
Okay.
He's had
why you make the trade, right?
Yes, and I also thought that was the reason why you make that trade because Kadarius Toney can go back there, return punts, return kick returns because Sky Moore said he's already muffed about 3 punts, lost 2 of them, and he's put the defense in bad situations more than once, and he's not catching on at wide receiver. So I think if you take him off of return duties and be like, hey, let's focus on your wide receiver duties and get you up to speed. So I think that was also
how much I love family move. So I gotta say, you said duty.
Let's move on to the giggity. Let's move on to the AFC South. You got 1-7-1 Houston Texans, 3-7 Jacksonville Jaguars, 4-5-1 Colts, 6-3 Tennessee. I was pleasantly surprised how the Titans played the Chiefs. They made them play bully ball, made them play a physical game,
with
and I
no quarterback play.
with no quarterback
No
play,
quarterback play, and they
and
hung.
and could have won the game. So I'll
That's a
say is
tough match. We've seen that in the playoffs. That they're a tough matchup for you with the way they do play D and their defensive line with Jeffrey Simmons and company.
they've always given Andy Reid tough
Yeah.
times. Yeah. So I'll say this. I got a newfound respect for the Titans. Obviously, Derrick Henry looks like he's back in full King Henry mode still. Teams are going to stack the box to stop him. So it's up to Tannehill, even if Malik Willis gets in there, to just make the right plays, make the right reads. And Tennessee can win some games. Obviously, Tannehill still haunted by that interception-riddled game against Cincinnati in the playoffs. So we'll see how that changes his mindset going down the stretch. Let me ask you this. First, give me your opinions on the hire of Jeff Saturday, and then give me the actual reaction on how the team responded yesterday against the Raiders.
I've said since the moment it happened, everyone flipping out, Bill Cowher crying on TV for 2 minutes yesterday. It's an interim position. Owners are going to bring in people that they trust and they have relationships with in times of turmoil.
Yeah.
Well, what are you afraid of? Are you afraid of Saturday being successful? I mean, he's an all-pro, top 5 center of all time. Centers, they always say, are the smartest guys on the offense next to the quarterbacks, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the big deal? I don't give a shit. It's not my money. It's an interim position. He did not hire him to be the head coach for the next 6 years. He didn't violate the Rooney Rule. If they want to go forward with Saturday, they're going to have to open up the interview process and go through everything in the offseason. It's interim coach to the end of the season. I don't care. It's your team. Do whatever you want with it. I really have zero interest in this topic, and I think that the media just wanted something to cry about, and they did. And Bill Cowher cried like a fucking 67-year-old baby yesterday on television.
I get your sentiments. Just me personally, I was like, whoa! I didn't expect that. Obviously, he was doing some consulting work for the Colts anyway,
Nice.
So the Colts were familiar with him, and of course, he played for Irsay. So there's
tight.
There's familiarity there. However, I will say, like, just because, and I get, you bring in somebody just for an interim point to take over your organization in a time of turmoil, and you want somebody you can trust, you're familiar with, and I understand that. I'm just saying is that there were people that was obviously on that coaching staff that have coaching experience that, and I'm not making this a race thing. I don't care whether they're black, white, Hispanic, Asian. I think a lot of people got screwed out of that job just in this moment. Yeah. It don't matter. So
I can see that, absolutely.
Yeah. So, but at this point,
my thing to add to that though is it's interim.
Yeah, it's interim.
And I saw someone on Twitter. I forget his name. Oh God, I follow him. We talk shit all the time, like funny shit together, back and forth. The black guy, and he said, he goes, "What they want them to do? Bring in a black coach a failing team, not be fired, job long term, and now he's never going to get it again."
Yeah.
Oh, like from the racial minority aspect of it, you don't want to come into this job with 8 weeks and get it right. You'd rather the white guy go fail, because then I don't know if it's another spot for you. Let me know about it, right?
I mean, and
you're not going to run the table with this team with Matt Ryan at quarterback. I mean, you benched Ellinger yesterday and went back to Matt Ryan. We know what Matt Ryan is. Jeff Saturday is not reinventing Matt Ryan.
He's not reinventing the wheel.
The team. So let him go in. Let him fail. Let him be like, you know what? I ran this, but I'd rather go manage my fantasy football team in Peyton Manning's league, because he had to give that up. Did you hear about that?
No, I didn't hear about that.
You can't gamble when you're a coach.
Yeah.
Saturdays in a fantasy league with former players, Peyton Manning and everything, and he had to give up his team, and Peyton invited Eric Decker to take over his roster. And Decker had like a press release. So like, man, it's tough. I can feel where Saturday's coming. It's tough coming into midseason, taking over a team with no hope.
Yeah, but I mean, no. I think we may have different views of it, but I think we're both on the same accord. That is, look, Irsay wanted somebody he can trust. He knows it's just going to get through the season. Just get through the
And
season,
you know you're going to
and
get
then we'll
an
see what
honest
happens.
assessment, right? Saturday he's going to go in. He's going to speak his mind. He's going to assess the team. It's kind of like the ownership of Walmart coming into Denver, right?
Yeah.
Kind of put everything on hold. Let's see what's what. I'll tell you what works. I'll tell you what doesn't work. I'm basically going to be a narc and a mole on the inside and tell you who you should probably keep here long term
and
who
you should
needs
get rid
to hit
of.
the road, and then I'm out.
Yes.
And it's more of a self-assessment and what's the word I'm looking for?
No, it's an assessment.
It's like a state of the union, right? Like where are we and where do we need to go?
And I agree with you 100% on that aspect. But I'll say this: they came out and they played for him yesterday. And I get this is a bad Raiders team, but they did look like they cared, they played, and I'm not saying if he's a long-term solution, but he's not a bad interim solution because when you think about it, it's good football knowledge, and just like you said, he's going to be able to give
right? Players and coaches respect him. He's going to be a Hall of Famer if he's not already.
Yeah, and he's going to give 100% a real thought process on where your franchise is at and where it's going.
Zero care in the world. Zero care in the world. What's the worst thing that happens? Don't work out.
Yeah,
okay. He goes back to his consultant role and collects a check for doing little.
Yeah, but no, like you said, this division is weak. Jacksonville,
last of it, and if they get healthy in the playoffs, they're a team to be reckoned with.
Oh yeah. Jacksonville. It's a better looking Trevor Lawrence.
Very disappointed.
But I am disappointed. Yeah, very disappointed.
I do like the trade for Calvin Ridley for next year, though.
That's going to be low key a good trade. That's going to be a
now
good low key
got
trade.
Ridley, and now Kirk moves down to a number 2, or Kirk.
I don't know. Christian Kirk. Well, because I watched the Jaguars and Chiefs game. Christian Kirk was looking pretty good yesterday, man.
Excuse me, I'm tired. I've been staring at this for like 40 minutes, but it's go time.
Him and Trevor Lawrence had a good little rapport going in that game yesterday. So I'm not going to say that just Calvin Ridley comes in and automatically number 1 or RW1. But
they'll complement each other nicely.
Yeah, they'll complement each other.
Kirk does and what Ridley does in over the middle game and Kirk's speed. They'll complement each other nicely, whether it's 1-2 or
Evan Ingram has been a slight surprise because he stayed healthy.
ETN, that's why they shipped Robinson out to us.
Oh yeah,
he's a 3-down baller.
Oh yeah, so they got some.
They got some nice pieces. They got to put it all together, right?
Yeah.
And Trevor Lawrence, I don't know. I said he would not be the best quarterback in this class.
No, but he had a good game yesterday. The only problem is he
had the good game after the game was out of hand and it was like down a couple touchdowns.
No, I'm being honest with you, Nick. He had a good game. The reason why the Jaguars didn't win that game is because they couldn't keep him upright. When the Chiefs get 5-6 sacks on Trevor Lawrence, that's it. Yeah. I mean, that's just it was just too much pressure. But he didn't throw an interception. He didn't fumble, and I think that's kind of been another knock that I've had on Trevor Lawrence lately is he's been a turnover machine. But let's move on to AFC North, a very rough and rugged division. You got 3-6 Pittsburgh, 3-6 Cleveland, 5-4 Cincinnati, 6-3 Baltimore Ravens.
I still think Cincy comes out of there.
It's a good chance.
I think since he comes out, I know Baltimore made the nice moves on defense, getting Roquan Smith from the Bears.
I love that move, though. I love that move, though.
I don't know. I feel that when Joe Burrow's backed into a corner, I want to bet on Joe Burrow, right? Like that's just I don't feel that way about Lamar. I feel like when Lamar's in the lead, it's like I don't know if he can hold on to it. But for some reason, Joe Burrow has shown when he's painted into a corner, he fights his way out, man. And whether he's throwing to Jamar Chase, one of the top 3 wide receivers in the NFL, or if he's got to go to Higgins or Boyd or Mixon or Hayden Hurst or wherever he got to go, he just finds a way to get it done when it matters. And don't forget, the Bengals were right here last year too.
Yeah,
they were right where they are now, and they ended up making a Super Bowl run.
Definitely, I'm with you there. I don't discount the Bengals. Obviously, they had a slow start because Joe had the appendectomy, and it took him a minute for him to get that offensive rolling because he had no training camp pretty much. So he had to get back in that rhythm with everything. I think they found the answer how to help that offense keep going without Jamar Chase, and it's Joe Mixon. Get Mixon going. That opens up everything else for you. I like Hayden Hurst at tight end. He's solid. Higgins and Boyd, and this is one thing that we can't forget about the Bengals, and I think a lot of people have, is that before Jamar Chase went down, all three of Jamar Chase, Higgins, and Boyd were in the top 15 of receiving yards. So just because one go down don't mean that the talent still ain't there. So you can't sleep on Higgins and Boyd. Obviously losing Jamar Chase, that does something. Obviously that changes your offense just a tad bit, but I think the Bengals still are good enough to still maintain their division. Pittsburgh been a disappointment. I still haven't found a quarterback. I don't care what you say. I don't think Kenny Pickett's the answer. Obviously, Trubisky's not the answer. Rudolph ain't nowhere close to the answer. So still got a problem with there. In Cleveland, boy, they can't wait for the Deshaun get back. Ooh, my goodness. It's cute. Jacoby Brissett, and you know, he's done some good things, but he's done some bad things. All right. He's a backup. This is what you get with backup.
And what do we say about Brissett? If you want to get your franchise quarterback, you bring in Jacoby Brissett, because the second that guy steps in, he takes over. Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield, Justin Herbert.
Say Jacoby Brissett is a backup. Baltimore, I'm actually once they can get a little bit more healthy on their secondary, I think they'll be all right on defense. It's starting to come around. I like the veteran presence of JPP. Obviously, you still got Calais Campbell. Justin Houston has revived his career all of a sudden in Baltimore. I mean, you know, so they got older guys that are contributing good play to them. The only problem is they're older. So, I mean, we've seen it last year. Some of it this year is durability with Baltimore. That's the only thing to me that'll be their downfall. And the Bengals. So the durability and the Bengals is, to me, the only things that I think Baltimore really needs to worry about. Final thoughts on AFC North.
I see the Bengals taking it in the end. Yeah. I think the Bengals and the Ravens might both make the playoffs. I don't see the Patriots making it. Mac Jones is a bag of shit. So I don't see Mac Jones leading a fourth-place team to the quality record of a playoff team. I just don't. You know, I know we're going to get into the AFC East, and we're probably going to bring up my team because, you know, it's fun and exciting. But just to discuss the Patriots, you're not going to get 3 interceptions again out of Zach Wilson. You're not going to get a pick 6 called on a shitty roughing the passer call, and you still only beat us by 5. Zach played his worst game of the year. You took a pick 6 off the board that put a field goal on the board for you. That game would have been 17-3 with Michael Carter's pick 6, and it would have been a wrap. Instead, it's 10-6, and then they go on a little run because, like, you just tell the Jets were deflated when that call got taken back. So we go into New England Sunday, and I cannot wait. This is a playoff game.
Big game.
This is a playoff game in November, and I'm not talking hyperbole. I'm not trying to hype something up because it's my team.
This is a big game.
We win. Miami has a bye. Miami's 7-3. We're in second right now because we have the head-to-head win over Buffalo. We're both 6-3, but we're sitting second. We win this game. We go to 7-3. We're 3-1 in the division. We have the better division record than Miami and Buffalo. We're in first place. We lose this game. We go down to 6-4. New England in last place would be 6-4, and they would have the tiebreaker over us because they would beat us twice head to head. So the Jets win. The Jets are in first. The Jets lose. The Jets are in place. Yeah, this is the biggest.
It's a huge game
maybe the Jets have ever played. Besides for like an end of the season, Packers in 2002 when we beat them 42-17, win and you're in. This is almost win and you're in, because if you don't win this, it's going to be very difficult to get in down the road because you'll be losing division tiebreakers now.
No, I'm with you. I think it's a huge game. Obviously, nobody would have thought Buffalo would be 0-2 in division, but yet there they are. So Patriots 5-4. To me, they're literally hanging on by a string by Bill Belichick coaching.
They're winning in spite of Mac Jones. They're not winning
they're in spite of quarterback.
In
It's about a
all those
quarterback.
Patriots fans that had to say Mac Jones is the best quarterback. Mac Jones is the best quarterback. He lost his job to
Bailey Zappi.
Zappy, whatever the fuck his name was.
Yeah, Bailey Zappi. Happy for Zappi.
Dildo face, whatever the fuck was it. Not even a good dildo, too. Like a Chippendales dildo, like gets used in those places.
Sir, I don't know anything about
You know
the
I hate
quality
you
of
for that, man. It snowballs quick.
I have no idea on how to check the
Man.
quality of a dildo. And the fact that you can tell me the quality of a dildo is starting to scare
Well,
me.
you'd rather be on a hot blonde female than in the back locker room at Chippendales, right? If you weren't. That's my point. Like, it's not even like a high quality one. It's one that you gross. Where was that? Both of you, same time.
I can't.
You named it Mark? What the fuck?
But no, Patriots. Hey, look, I know you're 5-4, but I think at the end of the day, when it gets closer to December and January, you're just gonna be a team that's trying to be a hater and knock people out of playoff contention. I still don't see them as a playoff team. I know right now that they would be on the cusp of that, and more than likely.
We go in there and we win this game Sunday, we can send them into turmoil. For the amount of times that they've done it to us, we can go in there and we can not end their season, but we can make that a very uncomfortable building to be in for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the standings right now. They would be the 7th and final team in the playoffs, but I don't see them better than the Chargers, and I don't see them better than the Bengals.
You see I'm gonna read you their remaining schedule. They're 5-4 right now, right? I know you love doing this and usually throw the record at me, but you know I hate their guts. So I'm gonna throw it at you. We're gonna do a little role reversal here.
Let's go.
5-4. Jets come in Sunday.
I don't like that matchup for the Patriots.
5-5. Fair.
Okay, that's fair.
Thanksgiving night, prime time at Kirk Cousins in Minnesota.
I like Minnesota better weapons.
5-6. Okay.
5-6.
Home versus Buffalo.
5-7.
On Thursday, back-to-back Thursday games. Thursday night, Buffalo comes in.
5-7.
At the Cardinals.
They can win that. 6-7.
Fair. I'll give you that. Wouldn't be surprised if it goes either way, right?
Yeah.
I think we're on the same page with that. If Kyler Murray has a good game, they can win. If Kyler Murray doesn't play well, Belichick can expose him. 100% agreed with that. At the Raiders, back-to-back West Coast trips, tough.
Yeah, but the Raiders, where they look, oh my God. Ugh. They can win that. I could go 7-7.
Okay. Bengals home.
Oh, they lose that.
Dolphins home.
So they're 7-8. Oh, they're 7-9. That's
Buffalo to end the season. 7-10 at best.
7-10.
That season. It's gonna be a shit show.
That season's over.
Oh, my buddy Jeremy here. Yo, he speaks no lies. What's up? That's my buddy Jets Chaos, Jeremy.
What's going on, Jeremy? Just Chaos. What's up? Hey, 7-10. Hey,
we're going over the Patriots record right now and what we think it might be, Jerry. We come out with 7-10. It's
no doubt. They're 7-10. Like the heads are gonna roll. Motherfuckers are about to lose their fucking mind up and fucking up northeast in Boston and fucking Foxborough. But I mean, but hold on. But this
7-10 is not even good enough to get a top pick and help change your franchise. So it's like a double edged sword. You'll be picking 13th.
Yes. But here's the funny part. They go out and spend all this money for a whole bunch of just regular ass average motherfuckers last year. And this is what you get.
Judon's been worth it. I hate them.
No, Judon. No, I'm not questioning Matthew Judon. I'm not.
Matt Judon. Yeah, he needs to escape from Alcatraz, man. He needs to get off this island.
I'm not questioning him. He's earned every bit of that money, and trust me, I'm pretty sure Baltimore is upset that they didn't re-sign him. But
when you're about to pay a quarterback $50 million a year, you gotta make some cuts. It's just how it is with these ridiculous contracts.
And let me say this: 6-3 Buffalo. You just got to say what it is. When Josh Allen has thrown 4 interceptions in the last 2 games, and he's thrown multiple red zone interceptions, you just got to call it what it is. Hey, yeah, we know you're good, but you can't be reckless with the football. It's like sometimes I feel like Buffalo has been put on with so many expectations because I've even said that I think they're going to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. When you put in with so much expectations, they never been in that position when you got expectations. And
my favorite part about, if you know anything about me, you know that I study my enemy more than I might study my own squad, right? Like I got knowledge on my opponents.
Yeah.
This looks like a team that needs everybody to be healthy. Everybody. It's got to be status quo for success. You look at a team like the Jets, who's getting pummeled with injuries. We're on our fifth right tackle. We're on our second left tackle. We're on our second right guard. Corey Davis, who was our most reliable receiver, is out. Breece Hall, our stud running back, is out. We're finding ways to win games.
Yeah.
Some teams can overcome adversity, and then other teams don't know what to do with it. You look at Buffalo, the last two games against the Jets and the Vikings, they've scored a total of 38 points in the first half. They scored a total of 9 in the second half. They only scored 3 against the Jets, and they scored 6 against Minnesota yesterday. Yeah. So when things are going well, it's going well. They were up 14-3, and then Jets made it 14-10 right before the half. But now you look at them in this game, and you saw it. They didn't know how to play with a lead. When you knew they wanted to run it, they're trying to get cute with their play calling now, and they did a horrible job managing the clock the last 4 or 5 minutes of the game because they're They're trying to get cute because they don't know who they are.
We said it earlier in the show. Running the ball and being a balanced offense is really starting to revive a good few of these teams, and Buffalo's not one of them. They refuse to run the ball and they refuse to be balanced. They're so reliant on Josh Allen, and I thought that they would be more balanced because you really didn't know how he was going to react to that elbow injury. You didn't know, so I thought that it'd been at least more. Hey, let's be a little bit more run happy. Isn't that what you go get Naheem Hines for from Indy? Isn't that what you got Singletary, who is a good running back? Isn't that what you got him for? Don't you want to use him for that?
Hang on. I just gotta hang on.
Yeah.
Jim Irsay responds to critics. Twitter alert just came, or Bleacher Report alert that's connecting me to Twitter. Hold on. Jim Irsay's tweet. All you critics, you criticize all of us in the NFL for losing. When we make moves to win, you act so righteous. Who you crapping? Just win, baby.
Hey, he's playing
by a true cocaine addict.
Hey, he's playing his Al Davis role, man. You got to be the personality as well as the owner. I mean, I get it. No,
and
man.
You gotta have your team's back, right? They rallied.
Oh yeah,
you be the spokesperson for them.
Oh, of course.
He got whipped all week. Like I said, Bill Cowher fucking cried for 2 minutes. I was an assistant for 7 years, and hey, man, it's not my fault. Nobody fucking liked you. Shut the fuck up.
So I mean, look, end of the day, Buffalo, are they still a good team? Hell yeah. They got injuries, especially on the defensive side. Poyer didn't play yesterday. Obviously, Micah Hyde, he's probably done for the season. Tre'Davious White hasn't even suited up at all this year. So I mean, you got injuries and you still could have won the game, but in my opinion, I think Josh Allen has cost the Bills the last 2 games, and you got to hold him accountable. Say what you want. As great as a talent as he is, he just cost the Buffalo Bills 2 games in a row by having terrible presence of throwing these red zone interceptions, and it's cost you.
Yeah.
But
that's also going to what? Not having
not balanced.
Not having that running game
right.
to take the pressure off. Now, Singletary started this game like a house on fire. I don't know, you were probably watching your game, but I sat here and I watched the whole Bill Viking game.
Well, his yardage wasn't great. He got in the end zone a couple times.
Runs. He made some cuts second and third level and almost broke a few. But Minnesota took that away. And you see that if you make Buffalo one-dimensional, they can't do it.
In your favor. Oh, yeah.
They can't do it. So, what other team we got to talk about in this division? Let me stretch it out.
I got to say this. Obviously, with Miami being in the league right now, we talked about it. nauseating amounts of time that once you add some talent around Tua, you can get a fair assessment. And here's
What
my
was
assessment.
impressive about yesterday? Let me just chime in real quick with that comment.
Yeah.
It wasn't the Tyreek Hill show. I think he ended
No.
up 4 for like 40 something, and they still put up 39 points. So, I mean, at one point late in the second half, Hill only had 2 catches for like 8 yards or something. I think it was minuscule.
I'm glad you said that because that was leading me up to this point.
So this was a very impressive all around win against what everyone called Cleveland. Still a very stout defense, right?
Yeah, and this is why because I
go ahead. I'll use the bathroom.
Because I had picked Cleveland to win this game because I'm thinking, a stout defense on Cleveland with the stats wise, they're not looking great, but front four, Myles Garrett, Jadeveon Clowney, they were going to give hell to Miami. But here's the deal, and this is why I'm gonna preference what I'm saying because I like the way Miami is headed direction wise. You go get Nick Chubb, Chubb from Denver, Bradley Chubb. Yeah, I had the wrong Chubb.
Never the wrong Chubb, brother.
Go get Bradley. Go get Bradley Chubb from Denver, and I was actually surprised that Denver came off of him. But you get Bradley Chubb
again. Though, when you pay $250 for a quarterback, same reason Baltimore let Judon go.
Yes,
you're gonna have to let some of these guys go because now you're not going to be able to pay them the way you want to, or the way they want.
Because Bradley Chubb was going to be coming up for a contract extension soon, and you can't pay him. So you move off, and Miami instantly gives him the money, so he got paid. But he adds to their defense, so you like that move. But this is what I forget the coach's name. Mike, what's his name? Mike McDaniels. Mike McDaniels.
Miami?
Miami. Mike McDaniels.
He's pretty cool. I hate to admit this because I usually hate, but when they played the Bears the week before, he was like, I tried to tell Justin to stop running the ball, but he was being ignorant. He didn't want to listen. This guy looks like he would sit around a campfire, pass a blunt around with you, and
he's like weird, quirky, funny. He's weird, quirky, funny.
Really and he's the smartest guy in the room, but he's like the stoner, stupid idiot too.
Yeah, yeah. I mean? But here's one thing that he's doing well as a coach. He's bringing in people that knows his offense and scheme and help spread it to everybody else. He brings in Raheem Mostert. He brings in Jeff Wilson Jr. from the 49ers. So he's bringing in guys that played under his offense in San Francisco to kind of make it easier in the easier transition. And one thing I noticed about him making these moves, Miami's playing a little bit more physical in the run game yesterday. Jeff Wilson Jr. had an awesome game yesterday against Cleveland.
Yeah,
and that offensive line is getting after it. And I think they're starting to show an identity that they're going to be rough and rugged. Let's get the run going, be more balanced. What we've already said on this whole show. I think they're going to be a more balanced offense, and that's why you didn't see Tyreek or Jalen Waddle go off yesterday. It's because they're going to be more balanced. And it's going to make it easier for Tyreek and Jalen Waddle to get those big home run plays. Yes. Because if you get Jeff Wilson Jr., you get Raheem Mostert going in that running game. Yeah, the sky's the limit.
Score from anywhere.
The sky's the limit. And Mike McDaniels is a good play caller. So
and when you're looking at the Dolphins,
I got to give Miami the respect. I see it coming. I see it coming. Well. Yeah.
When you look at the 49ers, right? Because that's where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Imagine the 49ers with an elite passing attack.
Yeah.
Now, excuse me, the Dolphins don't have the defense, but they have an elite passing attack right now.
I think their defense is about middle of the road, slightly above average. They lose Emmanuel Ogbah today. I think that's a bad loss for them on their pass rush. You still got Bradley Chubb. You still got Melvin Ingram.
That Week 18 Jet-Dolphin game is probably going to decide the division. Whether if Dolphins lose, Bills win it, or if the Jets can hang on, who knows? But that game, man, not to look too far ahead, but knowing that that's the final game of the season in Miami, that's a game that like CBS is just praying for. That like that gets flexed to like nighttime.
But here's what's nuts about the NFC East. It's up for grabs. A lot of people assume this was Buffalo's division, and you know I picked Buffalo to win it, but hey, you can't really say that right now. We're going into week 11 after tonight. Obviously, it's the end of week 10, but
Wow. Going by
bro,
so fast. I hate it.
after that,
Fucking hate it.
after that, there's only 8 more weeks. So hey,
Not
this is
for us. Our teams will be going deep. We're good.
but I'm saying like this is the nitty gritty time where you know division crowns are going to start getting clinched. Playoff spots about to start getting clinched in the next month. So this division ain't Buffalo's no more. This is up for grab. This is a 3-team race. And say what you want. The AFC East right now is a 3-team race between the Jets, Dolphins, and Bills, and it's going to be a battle of endurance because all 3 teams are capable of taking this division. Say what you want. They are all capable of the division. Of course, we saved the best for last because my homie came and joined me today. I ain't seen your ugly mud in a minute. We're going to talk about them Jets, Jets. I know. Go ahead. The floor is yours, sir.
Are we sitting next to each other at the AFC Championship in Arrowhead for this game?
If we do, we do.
That's my prediction. That's my prediction. Nobody wants to see this Jet team come to playoffs. I'm going to throw some numbers out at you because you know I'm a numbers guy. I'm not just blowing smoke up people's ass. We're 5-0 when we give up 20 points or less. Now, we play in a day and era in the NFL where not many teams hold the opposition under 20 points. We're doing it consistently.
Yeah.
We're sending 4. Quinnen Williams is the best defensive tackle in the NFL this year. Very well aware that Aaron Donald is still in the NFL. And I'm not talking career. I'm not talking past accomplishments.
Just this year.
I'm talking about what have you done since the opening kickoff this season. And Quinnen Williams is the number 1 defensive tackle. He's got the most quarterback hits. He's got the most quarterback sacks. He's got the most quarterback pressures for an interior defensive lineman. This dude, I've said it for years, and people have laughed at me. Jets fans have laughed at me that it was the wrong pick. We should have took Josh Allen, the pass rusher from Kentucky that Jacksonville took.
Yeah.
And I said repetitively, when you give this man an edge presence that they have to worry about, he's got Carl Lawson back. He's got Sheldon Rankins, who was another interior. He just dislocated his elbow. He's out for this week against the Patriots. Should be back in 2 weeks. After the Bear game, he should be back, which I think would be Buffalo again. That's the Lions. Buffalo's the week after, I'm sorry. So they might keep him out until Buffalo, which would be great, right? Gives him 6 weeks, and then he's good for that game. There's a guy on this team that not many people know. And if you look into – I'm not an analytics guy. I don't look for those numbers, but being a part of Jets Twitter and all the groups that I'm a part of and then the shows that I do, this information I end up finding out. I can't avoid it. His name's Bryce Huff. It's his 3rd year in the NFL, maybe 4th, I think. He was an undrafted rookie out of Buffalo, and the speed was a factor. Do you know that Bryce Huff has the number 1 pass rush win rate at like 46%? His speed, now he can't guard the run for shit, but we got Jermaine Johnson for 1st and 2nd down. If it's 3rd and long, Bryce Huff is the one that hit Josh Allen, knocked the ball out, and hurt his elbow the week before. He came around that edge like a missile. He's up for a contract. We thought we may have got something done last week during the bye week, but he's got restricted. He's a restricted free agent, so we have the rights to match anything that he would get. So it doesn't make sense to just throw money at him. Wait to see what other people throw at him.
Yeah, see what his market's at.
Look at what we do. You look at DJ Reed and Sauce Gardner, and this is not bullshit. This is not me blowing smoke up anyone's ass. It's the number 1 cornerback tandem in the NFL.
Oh no, yo,
Sauce Gardner is
not to cut you off, bro, but this gives me.
And I know how big you are on Sauce. You love Sauce.
No, I love Sauce Gardner. Yo, bro, him, and what Reed are giving me are legit fucking Revis and Cromartie type vibes, and they are seriously giving it to me because they're going up against elite receivers. Go look at the list that the Jets receivers have had to guard. All right, go look at the list, and they are shutting them down. Sauce Gardner is a bona fide. Look, I know we're gonna get into
He's
this
a superstar already.
look.
And
look,
it usually takes a second or third year for a cornerback to
I know we're going to
really-
get into the awards. Sauce Gardner is by far. Let's talk about it right now. He is the defensive rookie of the year, hands down. And guess what? I could make a case.
He gets a few more turnovers and might
I could
be
make a case.
defensive
He's
player of the year.
defensive player of the year. I can make a case for it.
So we
Just
went from the number
oh my
32 defense last year. Right now we're fourth.
Sauce
And we got
Gardner,
Matt Jones
bro.
Sunday. So we might move up another spot or two this Sunday alone.
I'm telling you,
We were giving up 160 yards more a game last year. That's that's a length and a half of a football field.
I'm such a Deion Sanders head that I look at players that give me that sense that he might have some primetime juice in him. Sauce got it. Sauce got primetime juice in him. Say what you want. Say people can say, "Oh, it's too early. Let him have some more seasons and be more." I don't go out on a limb and say in a rookie's first year that damn it, this guy is going to be so and so.
Yeah.
But it's hard not to look at those comparisons because
how do you not take this career trajectory and maybe you had it like this? How do you not just
go straight up?
Go straight up.
It's a rocket ship right now.
Revis even said he's having a better rookie year than I had.
Bro,
it's
Sauce
impressive.
Gardner is it not only
in a passing era, he's got better numbers than Revis had.
Not only is it impressive, it's the fact that he brings that Deion Sanders fear factor. And this is something that you can't measure. You can't put a stat to this. Cats are scared to throw on his side of the field. Yeah. They are not throwing on
DJ Reed on the other side. They had DJ Reed on Stephon Diggs the whole second half, and Diggs disappeared. Little ass 5'9" DJ Reed that nobody thought could play outside. And he's playing like an all-pro.
And I'm glad you brought up DJ Reed because when you have someone of Sauce Gardner's caliber on the other side of you, you already know for a fact, man, they coming on this side. So they not gonna try Sauce. They gonna try me. They don't think that, oh, I'm not Sauce Gardner. I ain't got it. And he's been showing up and showing out. Here's the thing. Both DJ Reed and Sauce Gardner have been so well. The only way that most of these teams are attacking the Jets defense right now is the seam because they know on the outside, you go past that seam.
But we made adjustments. The Patriots exposed us with that. They ran everyone deep and they dumped it off underneath, and there was a lot of catch and runs. We made that adjustment in the Buffalo game. So I'm very curious to see if we take that away from New England. They can't.
What happens?
Field on us. There's going to be a lot of sitting and getting sacked in the pocket.
I'm oozing off of how good this Jets defense is, and I've said it, and you know me, I'm not gonna blow smoke up your ass or anybody's ass who's a Jets fan. I said from the get-go that the Jets were going to improve. I didn't see it coming to this degree, but we just got to be honest about what we're seeing. They are
what I said to you. I said on the Jets shows. I said on here with you guys.
Yeah,
4, maybe 5 wins at the break, and we went through the gauntlet of our schedule, and the second half will be better. 6-3. And
pull up the schedule. Let's do it. Pull up.
I know it. What do you? I know it. I got it memorized.
Now go ahead. We obviously you got Patriots.
We got New England this week, and then we got the Bears at home.
You should be able to go 2-0. You should be able to go 2-0.
Because if you look at what we did to Lamar in the opener, I think we held him to 14 yards rushing. So we held Lamar. We had Flacco. There was a turnover in the end zone. A wide receiver slipped in the end zone. That was an interception. That game just didn't go our way. It was a rainstorm. It wasn't nice, and they just capitalized late. And Joyner, who gave up 2 deep touchdowns in that game, has been playing almost Pro Bowl caliber safety since then. So our weakness got corrected. So after that, I think we have the Lions. Let me pull it up. Lions, Bills, or Bills, Lions?
No, Bills, Lions.
No, at the Vikings. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
After the Bears, we go to the Vikings, which I can't wait to see. I want to see that game before Buffalo because I want to see what do we do to Justin Jefferson. I watched Justin Jefferson yesterday. He lines up on the right side of the formation.
Oh my gosh.
About 60% of the time. That's Sauce's side. Are they going to change that? Are they going to try to put him against Reed? Because the things that Jefferson does great, those multiple cuts and then break in wide open, is what Sauce is fantastic at covering.
Here's my thing. I think they're going to put Justin Jefferson on DJ Reed's side because if you had a Patrick Mahomes or Brady or Rodgers, you might still test Sauce with Justin Jefferson because if you're talking about elite quarterback play to elite wide receiver play against elite defender, I can see elite versus elite, but not with Kirk Cousins.
And Kirk Cousins had some difficulties in the pocket yesterday against Buffalo, and I'm going to say it. Our pass rush. I mean, they're missing Gregory.
Yeah, Russo was out. Yeah, Russo was out. Yeah,
but our pass rush with Carl Lawson, Quinnen, Sheldon Rankins might be back for that game. That'd be 1, 2, 3. That'd be 4 weeks. The Viking game, 5 weeks for the Bill game. Vikings Bills go 1-1. Split that. Right? You should beat the Patriots. You should beat the Bears. Vikings, Bills, go 1-1. Split that. Right? They're both on the road. And we haven't lost on the road yet. So if we can come out 1-1 in that, I think that is a huge statement for us. Now we come back for back-to-back home games. We got Lions on a Sunday, and then we have Jacksonville on Thursday night on a short week. And Jacksonville coming up here to the cold in December on a short week.
Hey, as long as y'all stay focused between New England, Chicago, Minnesota, Buffalo, Detroit, and Jacksonville, y'all should at least be at 4-2 at worst. 4-2 at worst.
And now one of the things I like with the Jets schedule, and usually there's a lot of things to hate, it's never easy making that trip up to Seattle. But we play the Thursday game against Jacksonville. We're off Christmas weekend, and then we go out New Year's Day and we play in Seattle. So unfortunately for the Jets, they got to break in the new year in shitty ass, muggy ass, disgusting suicide rate Seattle. But you saw yesterday, you put pressure on Geno. Geno reverts back to Geno. You just can't chuck balls up to Metcalf when you got Sauce out there. And Lockett and Reed would be a good matchup because those guys are small and shifty and quick. Yeah. So even though Seattle's a tough place to play, I see us winning that. And I think you're looking at 11-5.
So I'm gonna say this:
the Dolphin game to decide the season.
So you guys are 6-3 right now. Let's say the worst is 5-3. You're still 11-6.
11-6, which is 11 wins for the Jets.
Yeah.
Coming off with our best offensive lineman and a stud running back going down, and you still win double-digit games. That's going to scare the shit out of the league going forward.
I think it's possible, bro.
And now with the coach, with the character that we have with the coach, with the culture being built, you're going to look at a place where veterans say, I want to go there. Like what we did with Rex, right? Jason Taylor came in. Tomlinson came in. It was, I want to go set up my post NFL career. Let me go play in New York, make some connections in that market, right? I'll take less because I'm going to make more money when I retire. You're going to look at it as a place where veterans want to come and be a part of something. So I'm excited, man. This is just the beginning, too. This is just the beginning, which makes
you should so be, man. It feels good being on the.
We go 10-7. Say we go 4-4 down the end. Still won 10 games with all of these injuries.
Hey.
So it's I've said since the Jamal Adams trade, 2024 AFC favorites.
Hey,
that would be year 4 of Zach. That would be all of these rookies coming into the end of their first contracts where you go all in and you go get that crazy player that everyone thinks you don't get, right? So it'll be fun.
Here's my only thing of concern for the Jets, and I said this to other Jets fans. I don't know if I said this to you. The Jets are a good team, and the only thing that fears me is Zach Wilson has times to be an anchor, and then he has times where he's not a problem, where he's adding to what the great team it already is. Zach Wilson can't be the reason why you lose. He needs to be part of the reason why you win.
If we don't turn the ball over, we will beat any team in football. You saw that last week with Buffalo.
Yeah.
When we do not turn the ball over and we play our brand of football,
Yeah.
we might be the best team in football.
Yeah.
But we got to minimize the turnovers, because if you make 3 turnovers and then you make a boneheaded play where with Mac Jones it gets the pick 6 taken back, you'll be looking at a team that's 7-2 right now and number 1 in the AFC if we don't play sloppy. But I tell this to Jets fans who they don't want to look at the tip of the iceberg. They want the whole iceberg up out of water already. I'm like, we're young. We still have to
very young. Very young.
It's not going to be 100% in tight games.
And that's why I still have the optimism that I think Zach Wilson will be fine, is because you see the talent, you see the certain passes and certain thought processes that helps the team. Is just knock off the interceptions, the throwing off your back foot, throwing 3 interceptions and shit. Knock that off.
Yeah.
And be more clear headed and focused. And you know, I think once he and like you said, you're young. And not because I don't obviously know Zach Wilson personally. It just as an outsider looking in, I want his maturity to come up, because there's times where he gives me Baker Mayfield, Johnny Manziel vibes.
I know you don't know him personally, but we all need to pray you don't know our mothers personally.
But I'm saying there's times where I get a little Baker Mayfield, Johnny Manziel vibe from him, and I want him to steer clear away from that because like
he's got to learn that sometimes the throwaway is the best way.
Yeah, throw it away.
Robert Salah said in his press conference that it's okay to play boring football. Mm-hmm. We have a defense and a run game where we can play boring football as quarterback.
Yeah. No, he has a chance.
Stop what? Was it? Stop.
What are we stopping at, MJ? Hey, we gave your Giants love. You guys got a chance to.
Yeah, we talk glowingly about the Giants. He doesn't give us one comment.
No.
I talked more favorably about the Giants than I've ever talked, and he doesn't give one reply.
It has Sauce Man going up against a speedy receiver.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'll go through the list. There's a meme with the whole list.
The whole list of receivers. He faced Stephon Diggs
and Chase and T. Higgins. He went against
Gabe Davis. Yeah.
He went against Hill and Waddle.
Sauce is that man.
Cortland Sutton in Denver. Final play of the game. He broke that play up. He broke up the play against Gabe Davis, who's a speedy wide receiver. Caught him. He was 2.7 yards ahead of him, and he ended up catching him on a ball that was 70 yards in the air.
No, I give Sauce, because he won that game.
My team, you got to throw. You guys got to come at me better than just throwing out. I don't know responses to it.
Hey, you got to remember, Anthony is a Washington team. They're just struggling by grit and determination right now. Not a lot of talent.
Politics and bad football.
Well, I'm not. Well, I'll say this about Washington. I don't.
The only thing that's good down there is the sounds of gunfire in the middle of the night.
No, they got a tough team. Ron Rivera seems to always get the most out of a lot of teams that a lot of players that you think aren't good enough to beat certain teams. So I think Washington, they're 4-5. I think they still missed the playoffs, but I think they're going to be a tough team and play spoiler down the road for some other teams that could possibly get in. I mean, it's we'll see.
Sorry, Anthony, I'm not used to my team being good. I might not know how to handle it yet. I apologize. You may not know how to deal with success as a football fan. So
I mean, you used to what? Getting ready for the draft right now?
Ready for the draft? I am not getting ready. I would be ready for the draft. There's been a joke for the last 20 years. I think 17 out of the last 20 years. My birthday is October 18th, mid-October. And I usually start studying for the draft by then because the Jets season is over. So I only know the top names. Like I know the top quarterbacks and Will Anderson and then, the receiver from Ohio State. I don't know many people, which is a blessing.
Word. Well, let's get to these.
The part of the conversation. I'm not commenting. Just listening. Nobody wants to hear what I gotta say.
I know we always want to hear what you want to say about your
Absolutely.
Giants. Yeah, you know you can brag about your squad. That's what we here for, man.
Dude, this was the day. You got to go back, man. If you didn't hear us, I was very complimentary about the Giants.
Yeah, this was the time to glow about your boy. Hey, boy, did you see Saquon ran the ball 35 times yesterday? They made no bones about.
That worries me.
That does worry me about a guy that's been injury prone. But what it does show me is that Brian Daboll is not afraid to make sure that he establishes the run, which is weird because I'm like, then why didn't he do that with Buffalo the last few years? They might have won a Super Bowl or two, but you had Josh Allen, so I mean, I get it, I understand. But no, let's move on to these awards about mid-season awards.
I'm gonna throw it out to you. We're gonna start with Coach of the Year. Who you got?
Shit, man, he's made a believer out of me, and he's done some things to change the culture, man. I'm gonna go Mike McDaniels down in Miami. Because I mean, honestly, I never been a big Tua fan. I just thought he just wasn't it, but he's doing right by putting Tua in good situations. Obviously, you make good transactions to get some good people over there. Jeff Wilson Jr. I mean, to me, they're showing a good balanced identity. I'm excited to see where it goes. So I'm gonna go Mike McDaniels. Who you leaning towards?
I'm on the fence with two. I'm a fan of the talent on Philadelphia, and they should have beat every team they've played so far. They've been the better team. I'm going to give it to Brian Daboll because the Jets had that amazing rookie class that everyone knew could be impactful, right?
Yeah.
And they took the skill guys, right? They've had the meat and potatoes building already. When I look at the Giants and you look at the talent on the Giants, Daniel Jones at quarterback, a lot of people haven't had faith in him. I'm going to give my coach of the year to Brian Daboll because the energy he brings to that team, the excitement that he brings, the players playing for him and loving him the way they do already, that speaks a lot. So I don't think the Giants' talent is as good as the Jets, but the Giants have a better record than the Jets. So by that factor, as of right now, mid-season award, Brian Daboll is my coach of the year.
Hey, not a bad coach to get it to.
And I said earlier, if Matt hasn't heard me, once the talent level matches the coach level, the team's going to be a wrecking ball in the NFL.
Yeah.
Because like Buffalo was, right? It's just they're going to need everything to go the right way. They got to figure out the QB position. Only thing
that shocks me is you see instantly what Kadarius Toney is doing in Kansas City. I'm just confused on how Brian Daboll, who I think is a good offensive-minded coach, how he couldn't bring this, No, I
just gave Coach of the Year to Daboll. So
yeah, he's a Jets fan. He gave it to a Giants coach.
What do you want me to be, like Daniel Snyder? You want me to be the pervert of the year and have naked cheerleaders dancing behind me when I give out awards? I'm for it. Just say yes. I'll make the call. I'll do it. I'll do it for the show.
But no,
some titty over here, some titty over here. I'll be happy.
I was just kind of surprised that Brian Daboll wasn't able to utilize Kadarius Toney. Just shocking by that, just a little bit. But no,
agreed. But you don't know what happens behind the scenes.
No, true.
Tony hasn't wanted to practice. It sounds like Tony hasn't wanted to be there. So when you see a guy who is becoming, I hate the word cancer since my dad passed away forever, but when you see a guy becoming a human anchor in the locker room and doesn't want to move himself or anybody else forward, that's what
pain in the ass.
It's stagnant. An anchor doesn't let you go forwards or backwards. You just sit where you are. And that's what Tony was with the Giants. So it's like, all right, if once you recognize that, get him the hell out of here before he starts doing that to other people. So
Matt said he still has no faith in Daniel Jones.
All right, we did Coach of the Year. Let's go. Give me your surprise team of the year. Give me the bad team first, and then the good team. Your two surprises of the year.
My surprise bad team of the year is the Raiders. I did not expect them to be this trash. They are absolutely
and I'll just different from you. Even if I had that as my choice, which it was, I'll pick something different from you for discussion purposes.
Not the fact that you're just 2-7. They just look lifeless, and they're just going to sit there and just keep trying to go Derek Carr to Devontae Adams until they get out the rut. And they just let go of Jonathan Abrams, their I mean, they have the last 4 or 5 years first rounders. None of them are on the team. I mean, they are just absolutely just abysmal. The surprise good team of the year. I mean, I gotta go Giants. I did not expect them to be in the hunt of a playoff spot. Well, hell, a game here, a game two. We'll see what happens with Philly, but I did not even expect them to be way above 500 than what they are right now. I mean, just like you said, I mean, that talent level, it puts them at an average team at best on a good day. So yeah, I'm gonna have to roll with that.
Okay, and those are my two choices. But to change it up, I'll go with the Rams. Rams are 3-6. They're game better than the Raiders.
Awful.
You know, I know, like I said earlier, we discussed them a little bit at length with losing Whitworth, OBJ, Akers. They don't have that Von Miller. Yeah. They're missing some of their stars that helped put them over the top in a lot of games last year. And I'll go with the Vikings at 8-1. I don't think anyone had the Vikings there.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Everybody thought the Packers were good enough to still go through cruise control, figure out their issues, and be in the lead of the division at this point. But to be 5 games up in the loss column with 8 games to go, I mean, now you're playing for home field in the conference, which you need Philly to lose too.
Yeah.
And I don't think the Vikings will go 16-1. They would have to go 15-2, and Philly would have to fall down to 14-3 in order for Vikings to get home field in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll go. Those are my two, Rams and Vikings. All right, next, give me your offensive rookie of the year.
Ooh, not a lot of guys have been paying attention to him, but I pay attention to him on fantasy. Damian Pierce down in Houston, Texans running back. I would have said Breece Hall had he been able to stay healthy, but
he
Damian
was the favorite when he got hurt.
Oh yeah, he no doubt. But Damian Pierce is pretty much the only thing that's worth watching on this Houston Texans team.
Absolutely.
I mean, I
hope they don't run him into the ground this year.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because more than likely they will. So I mean, you know how they go.
They got multiple number 1 picks the next 2 years. They drafted Kenyon Green this year on the line, and then you see they got some nice run game going.
Damian Pierce
going to probably be in position for the number 1 pick and the quarterback of their choice. And then they can add another elite pick to that because Cleveland, I think right now, Houston has 2 top 10 picks. I think they got number 1 and number 8 right now, or 1 and 9, something like that. I haven't checked that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Kenneth Walker from the Seahawks.
Ooh,
he missed the first couple games, and he's been coming on. And with Dalton down in New Orleans, I can't see Olave having good enough numbers to out. You got to have really good numbers to beat a running back out with the amount of touches that these guys are getting.
And I do like Chris Olave, by the way.
Walker has a day yesterday, like he didn't run the ball well because Tampa committed to it. I think he still caught 9 or 10 passes because they were just feeding him the ball out in the flat. Defensive rookie of the year, I think we're unanimous. Right? Like I'm not even going to pick another one. It's
sauce and sauce only. That's the only answer right now. There's not another rookie on the defensive side of the ball that's having this much of a great impact like Sauce. To me, it's a no-brainer. It's nobody else.
All right. Defensive player of the year.
Ooh. This is tough. Because
it's a tight pack right now. And here's the names, right? Here are the names. Judon, Parsons, Nick Bosa. Those are the names that are right there at the top, I would think, right now, right?
Yeah.
Quinnen is right outside. I think Quinnen Williams on the Jets, he needs that multiple sack game. He needs that 3-sack game. He needs
two sacks a game type shit.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that because I think Chris Jones is stuck in the same position as well because he's been actually.
They're consistent, and it's almost like consistency prevents greatness because you just expect that 1 sack a game.
That's a good option. I like that option too, Anthony. Darius Slay, big play Slay from the Eagles. I can't fault you for that. That's a good choice. Man, when all said is done, right now,
Today, as of today. Not what do you think will be at the end of the year as of today, to this point.
And I might not have the numbers to support me, but I might have to go Micah Parsons, man. Just because
That's not a bad pick, man.
His impact's pretty damn good, man. He's a difference maker. But honestly, to me, I think you can really give it to a lot of different defensive guys who are having good seasons. But no, off the top of my head, I'll probably go Micah Parsons.
So Darius Smith is another one from Minnesota.
I'm
gonna go Judon. If I had to go right now today, I'm gonna give it to the Patriots and Judon.
That's fair.
And I say this playfully, but with a little bit of seriousness. Fuck you, Anthony, because obviously if I'm giving an award to a last place Patriot, I'm not being a homer. I'm never a homer. I'm fair. You got to give me that. I'm fucking fair.
I know Matthew Judon. I know that was hard for you to say that, giving it to a Patriot.
Hey, he's got a 2-sack lead over Bosa, Darius Smith, Justin Houston. Parsons is only at 8. You know.
But trust me, Michael Parsons could change that in a heartbeat, man.
Oh yeah, any of these guys can, right? I mean, Myles Garrett is sitting at 9th with 7.5. Max Crosby sitting at 7. Those guys could put together 2.5, 3 sacks in back-to-back games, and all of a sudden be in the lead. Like we all know what they're capable of.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. So, but no, I mean, it's a tight race.
Next, we got. I'm gonna do MVP first because usually, who doesn't get MVP gets the Offensive Player of the Year. You know what I mean? Like it's a secondary award almost. So give me both. Give me your MVP and then give me your Offensive Player of the Year.
Damn it.
You want me to go if you want to think on it?
No. Go ahead, because I really got to think about it because obviously it's going to go to a quarterback. So it's like
I'm not because this is not up to date. Quarterbacks have not been ruling the league because it's a running game. It's a running attack again, right? My MVP is Justin Jefferson right now. What he did yesterday.
Oh my gosh!
And I have the receipt on my Jet Twitter group. We have a DM group, and I was like Minnesota in a route. They're like, "You're out of your mind." I go JJ goes for 200. And then later in the game, I was like, I'm sorry, sue me. I was off. He only went for 193. Like, it's such a horrible prediction on my part. But yeah, with them being 8-1 and a quarterback not really putting up the massive runaway numbers or the undefeated, like Jalen Hurts is up there for me. But
I will put
nobody takes in honor of Mel. Fuck Mel, by the way. In honor of Mel, fuck Kirk Cousins. He's doing this with Kirk Cousins at quarterback, which makes that more impressive, right?
Yeah.
And then my Offensive Player of the Year is Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
I think these two receivers are just, and it's a shame that Diggs is up there as well. But I can't give that to these are both first place teams right now. So up to date with Justin Jefferson and Tyreek Hill are doing for their teams, and Tyreek's doing it without finding the end zone. He's just stacking numbers.
Yeah, I think he only has like 3 receiving touchdowns, and he's just stacking up receptions and yards. And so I can agree with you on that of him being Offensive Player of the Year. And unfortunately, I don't want to sound like
we always give it to the quarterbacks, right? But like you said yourself, it's going to be a quarterback for the midseason awards. Let's throw some other names out there.
Oh no doubt.
Hurts. Mahomes,
I love that Justin Jefferson take, boy. That Justin Jefferson take is. Can
you imagine how good the show will be if Kirk Cousins wins MVP? Oh
my goodness!
If Kirk Cousins is the MVP, we start a petition to change the name of the award to the Kirk Cousins Award, just to fucking watch Mel lose his mind.
Man, oh my gosh! But no,
I agree, man.
Tyreek Hill is having a phenomenal season, and just so I don't sound like a homer, I'm gonna go with Jalen Hurts. I mean, he's
not Tyler Heineke after Tyler Heineke wins tonight. Upset special alert, baby! Ding, ding, ding! Upset special. You heard it here. Take the points.
Because what's been great with Jalen Hurts is he's you can see his passing is progressing, and it helps when you have AJ Brown and Devontae Smith to throw to. That helps. That's been a good complementary pieces on the wide receiving side. And Dallas Goedert's been having a good season, so you got a good solid tight end. So I love Jalen Hurts has been making sure that he's hitting his three top receiving talents, and he's still a threat to run the ball. But what I love about Jalen Hurts is he's looking to let the plays happen with the receivers or the tight ends before he takes off running. You see that progressing on him, so he's getting better at that. He's having a phenomenal season. Of course, you can throw Patrick Mahomes in there. He's having a good season, but I'm gonna go with Jalen Hurts. Because I want my credibility. I don't want to sound like a homer. But I mean, those gentlemen are up there in MVP talks. You definitely gotta throw Tyreek, Justin Jefferson in there as well. They're both putting up. Say what you want. Tyreek Hill is on pace to smash almost 2,000 receiving
I thought you were
yards.
going to say 2,000 Miami Instagram models.
Wouldn't be surprised, but
He's on pace to smash 2,000 kids.
Yeah. But no. I mean, you can't be wrong at so many great choices for MVP. It's going to be interesting to see who comes down. It's weird because I would have said Josh Allen, but just lately, his last two games, he's kind of slowly working his way out of the talks. And not saying that he's going to be, away from the talks all season, but just right now, I'm not ready to put Josh Allen in MVP talks right now. Like I said, when you cost your team 2 games in a row,
you're leading the league in interceptions too.
I can't. You're starting to get careless with the ball. So I'm not ready to put Josh back in that conversation yet. What other awards you got left over there, big homie?
I think that's it for awards. Give me your. We did MVP. We did coach. Surprise. Rookie of the year. O&D. Oh, comeback player. I'm going Barkley.
Ooh, not a bad choice. Not a bad choice.
I think with what Barkley's doing, I think Barkley's going to end up, if he stays healthy, he'll end up leading the league in rushing. They're going to feed him the ball nonstop, and they finally have the line to do it, where he's not. Last couple of years, he's been getting into the holes and like just going down because there's
Lamar Jackson's in the MVP talks. I would put Lamar Jackson in the MVP talks. I know Lamar gets a lot of flack, but man, he's been holding down that team, dealing with some injuries. Comeback player of the year. Shit. I mean, I said Geno earlier, but I don't know if that's really a comeback. I mean, it's just a revising of his career. So, I'm cool with Saquon. I'm with you on that. Saquon coming back from the injuries. No, I might even throw in
Geno.
Who?
Geno.
No. I for weirdly, oddly enough, I mean, Chris McCaffrey had his injuries. You see what he's just the different dynamic he adds to that San Francisco offense. And he still was trying to put up good numbers in Carolina before he got traded with that trash quarterback play. So I mean, I think you can make a case for CMC, Geno, and Saquon. But I'm with you. I'm gonna stick with Saquon on this though.
Here's why I can't do Lamar, and I wanted to bring this up. I'm glad Matt reminded me of it. Lamar started off the first 3 games like gangbusters, right? Mm-hmm. Like the first 3 games. I knew they blew that big lead in Miami, but he had 10 touchdown passes after 3 games. He's had 1, 1, 1, 0, 2, and 1 in his last 6 games. So he's only had 6 touchdown passes in his last 6 games, and he only has 2 rushing touchdowns. So Lamar set the bar so high for the running quarterback the year he did win that MVP that it's really difficult to – you got to surpass that, I think, to get it again, right?
Oh, yeah.
And as of
or at least get to those same benchmarks.
Yeah, but I mean, he started off on fire with the Jets, Dolphins, and New England, throwing 3, 3, and 4. He had 10 there, and it's been first month player of the month, Lamar Jackson, easy.
Oh yeah.
But since then, he's been subpar. All right, now give me Give me your NFC championship game matchup and the winner.
San Francisco, Philly. San Francisco, Philly.
Agreed. Because I think San Fran will match up well with the Vikings in that 2-3 matchup, and they'll pass them.
Yeah.
I don't see Philly dropping below the Vikings because I said they have the head-to-head win, so Philly should be the one. But I'll go with that. I'll go with those two. Who you got winning? I got 49ers winning it.
I got Philly. Yeah. So, and on the AFC side, surprisingly enough, I got Miami, and Buffalo. Because I'm gonna stick with my prediction. I said Buffalo's gonna come out the AFC. I know I'm not high on them right now. 2 bad games from Josh Allen. Man, it's hard, and it's hard for you to get teams that have, in the top 5 of both categories on defense and offense. It's hard to get that. And Buffalo's did it last year. They're doing it again this year. And Philly's doing it this year, having a top defense and a top offense. So I think Buffalo comes out. It'd be Buffalo, Philly in the Super Bowl. Buffalo, Philly.
I'll tell you right now. Defense wins. I'm going with our 2 boys in the AFC Championship. I'm going with the Jets at Kansas City.
Oh, okay.
It's mid-season. Let's have some fun.
Hey, why not? Yeah, we just have
for the purpose of the show. For the purpose of the show, we would have to do a daily show that entire week, like because you and I couldn't be on the same day. Now we have to host.
Yeah, especially when you see.
Now it would have to be like what's his face, Jerry Springer. He'd have to bring somebody to sit there, play security like Steve Wilkes.
No, bro. Just imagine
that would be a very.
Just imagine that. Just imagine that. No, that
I'll
would
go
be
Kansas
nuts.
City and Niners. I don't think we're there yet. I think our defense, we can beat anybody, but I just think we don't have it. If we have Vera Tucker and Hall, we might be able to do what the Niners do. And I would love to see a Jet Niner Super Bowl with the former coach and the defenses and the games.
That would be
without Hall and Vera Tucker. I tell you, we don't turn the ball over. I think we can beat anybody. We did it with Buffalo. We don't turn the ball over, we win the game. That's what it comes down to. Zach just has to get there and do it consistently, and rely on the run game and rely on the defense.
Real quick before we get out of here, any way Philly loses tonight?
The magic of Heineke. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Heineke magic?
I like it. I'm a fan of his, man. You know that since that playoff game against Tampa Bay when he had that first start. -11. I mean, let's be realistic, right? Philly should roll them. But we'll see. You never know what happens. That's why they play the games, right? Who thought the Jets were beating the Bills? Jets were 11.5-point underdogs to the Bills. And then won. So it's 11 tonight. Why can't Washington pull some magic out of their hat, right?
Hey, the way that they set up that contract, Anthony, there's no way Jimmy G comes back. They gave him a no trade clause. They gave him a no tag clause. There's no way Jimmy comes back. I just don't see it because you don't want to go into next year with the same cloud hovering over you in your locker room like it did this year with, Jimmy's still here. We haven't moved him. And we're supposed to be moving on with Trey Lance. Here's one thing, surprisingly, that I think people should look at. I think there's a good chance that Tom Brady comes back for another year, but he is not in Tampa Bay. And please, I normally don't repeat this guy Colin Cowherd, but he made some points where I can see him being seduced to play one more year in San Francisco. And have Trey Lance under Tom Brady for at least 1 year to see how it's done, and then they'll move on to Trey Lance. I can see it happening. I can just see it happening. And the way Cowherd put it together, I was like, "Damn it, I hate you, Cowherd, but you make some fucking points, and I hate it."
Fuck Cowherd. You got your boy Nick right here. How about Brady in Baltimore? with that defense, a healthy line, that run game, you put Brady in Baltimore after Lamar leaves.
And he has everything that he wants. So Mark Andrews there.
He has a healthy
That's what I'm
line.
saying. But I'm saying a San Francisco and a Baltimore are almost built the same way. Got the tight end, got the defense, got the run game. That's all you need.
How about that? If Lamar leaves Baltimore, Brady. Giants Chiefs with New Jersey Giants hosting
the New Jersey Giants.
Hey Matt, let's end on this, man. Let's on a unity note. How fun is it that New York football is back?
Man,
we don't ever have college football up here, right? Like I root for Georgia. You know, Rutgers is never the one time they were in the top 10 in 06.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun to just even Jets and Giants fans see each other out, and we look at each other like
you kind of head nod each other now.
That's like good to be back, right? Like, oh fuck yeah, I love the shit. Good for you guys too.
Let's fucking go.
Exactly. And I've said for years, I'm like, I have no issue with the Giants. I root for the Giants because when the Giants play teams in the AFC, I want them to win because maybe it helps the Jets come playoff seeding.
Yeah.
So, all right, brother. I got to bounce. I got some things I got to do before the boys come over for the game.
No doubt. Hey, it's been real. It's been real.
Yeah, Anthony, good luck tonight, Anthony. I'm rooting for you. I say take the 11 points. Roll the dice, take the 11 points, and take Jalen Hurts as an anytime touchdown scorer. And
giving away some money line with Lick Shine.
And go over on Dallas Goedert receiving yards.
All right, y'all. That's the deal. Y'all know where to find us.
Thanks, everyone. Take care.
Network, Facebook, YouTube,
and fuck Mel. Fuck Mel. Fuck
I.O.W. Sports
fuck
on
Mel.
Twitter.
And just for the record, one more thing.
Fuck
Detroit
Mel.
has not lost a game since Mel left the continental United States.
All right, y'all. It's been real. I'll see y'all tonight, 11 o'clock. And then I'll see everybody again Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, episode 201. It's been real. Peace and love.